Hi, I just thought I would come on and say that I'm going to offer my soul plan readings with a third discount for October as well. I met so many wonderful, fabulous people from around the world, lots of people from America as well, and men have actually taken them up as well, which is great, which is wonderful, wonderful to connect with people. Very, very honoured actually. Some of the soul destinies of some of these people are just quite incredible. If you don't know what they're about, if you haven't heard me banging on about them for ages, I go on about them because they're just so useful, really. And I had mine done. So they basically tell. I'm trained in science, all the teaching I did, and other people reflecting back to me that I was very psychic, very intuitive around things. And I think we all have that ability, and it's actually the very first thought, feeling, sense that you ever get around somebody. I work on the TV too, doing psychic readings, but it's something that I've had all my life, and lots of people do, but they don't always train and hone it. It's a very innate part of us, psychic ability, I believe. I wrote in the Psychic News column as well, and in the last 20 years, as I say, even though I've trained in science, in the last 20 years I've done thousands and thousands of psychic readings and coaching sessions. So psych means soul, so it's actually like soul seeing, really, but it's how I understand it. And Dr. Joe Dispenza and lots of very famous scientists in the world are showing that we pick up energy and consciousness actually through our hearts as well, and different parts of our hearts actually act as antennae to consciousness as well, and the brain actually also acts as like an antennae as well. So I think in the next 20, 50 years, a lot more is going to be known about who we actually are as beings, really, humans. So we are. There's more. Just was saying live on the TV. There's more energy in us than there is actually physical matter, even in the body. And every object that we see is actually energy. And I think if you think about life like that and consciousness, there's more and more known about consciousness and actually the field of energy, that we have a field of energy around us that is kind of where our consciousness is, and we have our energetic field goes out even as our arms spread out, so we can. It's like when you meet someone that has a real charisma, you can kind of feel their energy and feel their field of energy if you're very adept at that, or you're very sensitive. If you told me 20 years ago I would be doing psychic readings, I would have said you were mad, and it was all mad. But I've done so many now that I can't. I'm forever trying to. I don't know what the word is really. Was trying to, as a scientist, trying to corroborate really what I was doing with people, and I understand, that women and mothers are very, very intuitive, and lots of fathers too with people. I mean, we have knowings about things, and so there's a lot more. It's a lot more commonplace now to have a kind of reading around things. So a soul plan reading is based on who you come here to be with, your name, your birth name, which they say is a channeled name. Again, even when my children were born, lots of mums and fathers don't quite know the names they're going to give their children, and it was the same with me. And what they say in the soul plan reading is that you actually transmit your birth name to your parents, which I find quite fascinating and interesting, which makes sense really at some level. So yeah, so a lot of my life I haven't kind of come out that I've been so psychic, but I've been like this. Thank you for the hearts. I think that's Lisa there. I did a reading with you, I believe, or a soul plan. And if you've had a soul plan reading with me, then it'd be lovely to, if you want to tell people about it, even below this, so that they, people can be scared of psychic readings. I'd never tell you anything that you wouldn't want to hear. I'm not someone who, I'm always here to encourage. So when I do a reading, I'm encouraging, I'm coaching. And really, to be honest, it's what I was doing all the time when I was teaching children. So it's a very natural part of me. It's kind of who I am. And again, I think, even governments are using remote viewers and all the rest of it. It's far more people that have got abilities that they don't actually know about as well. So loads of people walk around with high intuition and levels of kind of knowing at some level. And if you think about it, it's how all the children survive in the world. If parents and mothers didn't have a kind of sixth sense about the children, then none of these children in the world would ever really survive. So I believe it's a very, very natural part of us, and I think more and more will be written about it as well. So it's a very natural part of me, really. And I think because I've done so many readings, I kind of leave myself open just to pick up the energy around people and things when I coach and when I do things, and always aim to leave you empowered and inspired. I would never want to tell you anything that would upset you or frighten you, and I could even kind of know that. And there are people who I wouldn't even say things to because I know they're very sensitive. What you also have, oh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa just said, yes, you did my soul plan. It was wonderful, Sally. My husband also had his soul plan done too. We both liked it. It aided us going forward with optimism. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Bless you, honey. That's really lovely of you to say that. Thank you. And, I trained as a teacher and a scientist. So even to come out to say that I was so intuitive. But looking back at my life, I even played volleyball for England because I think I was so psychic, and I realise that now. Have got an awareness of energy, and like even other players on the courts coming up around me, I could feel their energy and that kind of thing. I do believe as well, empaths and sensitive souls in the world get a bad rap, and even the last few years I've really been thinking about this. Often people that are sensitive, or a lot of creative people are very sensitive too. It can be that they're actually very psychic, that they're very, very aware. So we can also pick it up in the soul plan, the kind of energies that you have as well, in terms of creativity maybe, or psychic ability, and what kind of senses that actually comes out in the soul plan reading. So I just thought I would come on and just say that. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa just said, I wrote it because it's true, Sally. We're grateful for your work. Thank you. I'm feeling that, and I really appreciate that, because when you do this kind of work, sometimes you can feel that and I think also when you work on your own, you don't always get feedback too. So I really, really appreciate that, Lisa. Really, really appreciate that. It is hard, and I know lots of people who work on your own. You can doubt yourself at times, myself. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I've done some with people. I don't want to share too much because it's confidences with people, I'm honoured, very, very honoured with and I'm going to say almost like the calibre of people that have come to me for readings as well. And also the calibre, it could, because I believe everyone is equal. I totally believe that. And I gave a soul plan reading to someone who's actually kind of lost their job and been bullied the other week, and I actually did that, very, very cheaply for him, because he was in such a state, really. And I will do that when, I'm always giving away work for free and that kind of stuff. When I choose to, I'm going to say that too. I choose to do that now, because lots of people ask me to help them for free, and I just can't do that anymore. So yeah, it's fascinating. But some of the plans that you can have an energy of being victimised or abused actually in your soul plan. So even that is pretty fascinating. I do find them fascinating. Anyway, they're going to be available now until October for a third off again, and I'd love to work with some more people around the world. And so if it is something as well, if you want to actually give it as a gift and give it for someone for Christmas, I'm happy to sort that out with you. Or if you'd like to tell your friends or share this video, I'm sallyjfrancis.com, and as I say, I do as a teacher and taught thousands of children, trained in science, but I'm now available to do more soul plan readings around the world, and I'm devoting a lot of time in the next month then to do these with people, because I think they're very, very valuable, and I think they're very powerful. And I'm not talking about me here, because I feel I channel when I do readings. I don't think any of my work is about me. I think I've been guided, as lots of us have, to do the work. I won't go into my personal life, but I've had to sacrifice an awful lot to do what I do as well, which is why I massively appreciate people telling friends and sharing, and also sharing my book that's out there called Remember Who You Truly Are, that's there on Amazon. I come here as a healer, an empath, and an inspirer, really, of children and people. So I hope that helps somebody, and if that resonates with you, then feel free to reach out. If you don't understand it or you want more details, then yeah, I'll happily explain to anyone that would like details. Hope that you have a really lovely day, and I'm just going to leave this video as soul plans today, but I will come back and do some free readings soon, maybe later today, but probably tomorrow otherwise. Alright, take care, lots of love, and bye for now. Thanks, Lisa. Love you lots. Bye. Bye-bye.